everyone. Welcome once again. Is Jules, and welcome to my stream. On my stream, you are considered one of my treasures. Basically, whenever you are on my channel, you are in what we call Area 51. Just sounds like Area 51. I'm sorry. Um, Working off a different camera. Um, I had started my stream, and the camera decided to shut off. So working right off the camera on my laptop. Um, so as my title says, we talk about the 5 T's here in my channel. Talk about transition. I'm a 54-year-old transgender woman. We talk about triathlon, as I like to participate in. We also I do some teaching. Yesterday, I did a video on high demand religions. The one I am focusing on is my story of my deconstruction from the Mormon Church, and then also talk about trends, the clothing I like to wear, and then we talk about tips. Tips on my end can be like when I train for a triathlon, um, or I do some about preparedness for disasters, or even makeup tips. So talking about makeup today, and trends, I decided to try, which I've done a couple of different times. Go with that I like to do from time to time is go with a little bit of a goth look. I do have this black leopard print blouse. Have a little bustier underneath, and you can see it's kind of see through. I do have a real nice skirt. It has two real nice slits down the sides, kind of on the front, with buckles up at the top. It looks really good. Got my goth glove here. And then I did my makeup as, as goth as I could. The black lipstick, uh, some dark gray, black eyeshadow, just, doing something different. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Jules. Whenever you join me here on my channel, you're one of my treasures. Feel free to jump into the chat box and join in. So we've had a good weekend. We had a good live stream yesterday. It was fantastic. We had lots of people participate. Hopefully more come back. Today, we have also reached our new number of subscribers. We are at 322. Our next goal is 510. At 510, I will probably do another giveaway. I like to buy things out of my pocket, my own money, and then do a little giveaway, just to thank all of you for supporting, just being here on the channel. Also remember, I do have a Patreon channel. Should be a link down below, or and feel free to comment, like, subscribe on this one, and the Patreon. Whatever goes into your membership for Patreon, 20% does go to the Transgender Resource Center of New Mexico, and the other money will go to upgrading the equipment on this channel, as you saw. If you're watching like I said, we did have a little bit of a crash with the camera on when I was previously trying to film. I had to reopen a new live stream, I I will get, better camera, better equipment to be able to film the channel. So let's, hopefully we can start a good conversation going soon. Um, Looks like someone might be in here besides me. I know I did get one thumbs up. I hopefully will see, people starting conversations here. Uh, so please feel free to jump into the stream. What I'll usually do if I don't get anybody in half hour, I'll tend to, um, close it down and then go and do post a video. I do want to say I'm really grateful for everybody that's joined the channel. Um, it's been fantastic seeing the growth in the past, um, say 30 days in the past month or so, past month and a half. Um, that's when we've, grown to these 322. Um, and, like right now, in the last 48 hours, our views are at 96. I've had times when we were at, in the thousands. So it just shifts up and down. I'm trying to figure out what that special formula is as far as views. So, um, you know, I'm trying to, figure out what everybody wants to talk about. So if you are, in the channel, feel free to jump jump into the chat box down here and tell me. I always like suggestions, um, and also I wouldn't mind doing another live stream where I can do it off another app. It will stream to YouTube, and we could probably do it like maybe talk about transition and what all of us are going through in our transition. We can do a live stream. I can send you a link and you can join in on the live stream. I can have up to 10 people on that live stream. So I think that would be cool. We can just kind of all jump in, talk about our stories and how it's going. Uh, you know, so I welcome everybody here, and just everybody is welcome in here, whether you're LGBTQIA, straight, cis, whatever. As long as we can keep things in a civil and I would say constructive manner, no destructive comments towards anybody on the channel. I've had people jump in, sometimes start insulting, uh, me and my treasures. All of you, like I state, you are my treasures. And if people jump in here and start insulting uh, you, I will make sure to um, block those people out because this is a place where we want to talk and luckily and talk about what we have in common, what you know, how we can help each other out. So please always feel free to chat here. And we can keep it in a constructive manner. Hello and welcome to the channel. You're on with Jules. Remember, when you are on here, you are one of my treasures. Feel free to jump into the chat box and talk, and we can chat. I do call this area 5T1, kind of like Area 51, but we talk about the 5 T's about that that I like to journal out in my life. I'm talking about my transition. I talk about triathlon. I do some teaching, talk about trends, kind of what I like to wear, and different types of tips. And those vary a lot in what I like to give tips about. Um, So feel free to jump in. We can talk about anything. Like I said, it does, we can just do a casual conversation, and then speak about, uh, you know, and like I said, just let's keep it constructive, help each other out. And always, like I said, feel free to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Um, uh, with the channel growing, it really helps out. We are working towards our next goal of 510 subs. We are currently at 322. Um, so let's see if we can make it there. And then usually when we reach our goals, what I'll do is do a little giveaway. I've um, already last night put together what will be given away. Um, I've been working a little, like, usually since one of my topics I like to teach is about one, I did do a hiking trip where I showed everybody when I went hiking, and 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 then like how to pack it. I do have a little backpack like what I hiked with. I think I have it a little on that shelf over here behind me. The more subs we get, and when we hit 510, then we will do a drawing for it. When we reach there, I will, give the rules on how we do that. Um, the last one was at 255, and the person decided that they did not want the backpack. They said, use it for something else. So we'll just use it for the next one. Um, so I'm gonna give the channel about 17 more minutes to see if someone starts jumping in here in the chat. Um, Usually I'll give it half hour. If no one jumps in, into the stream, then I will log off. We'll, do another video, and then go on with what's going on for the day. So feel free to jump into the chat. Anybody, welcome to the stream. I just jumped over to the NFL scores. I'm a Charger fan. They just lost to the Steelers, 20-10. This year has been a whole new perspective to offenses throughout the league. It seems like we're back to a running game. As before, we were seeing a lot of passing yards. Now, a lot of the quarterbacks that were throwing lots of passing yards are now running the ball. I'm sorry, I am just looking. I sometimes like to look at the updates on, and one that popped up is the tropics. I keep track of of the tropical weather. I used to live in Florida. I still have some family out there and want to make sure they're okay. In fact, they just said that Invest 97L, which is before a tropical depression has formed, and then it becomes tropical depression, then tropical storm, then a hurricane, depending on how it feeds off the warm waters. Um, so right now it's an Invest 97L, it says. How they name those, I don't know. I don't know if it's by the number of them that they've had or what hurricanes. They use obviously an alphabetical list. They go by, every other year they start off the list with obviously in the A's, and then they go and start off like so. One year they'll always start with a guy's name, and then switch over to girl's name, guy, girl. Then the year after that, they'll go from girl. The A will be a girl, then a guy for B, and then there's several letters that they jump over, and then when I lived in Florida, there was actually one hurricane season where they started using the Greek alphabet for the storms, and it was because how many actually we had that year, and it was necessary. Um, the last one I went through was actually Hurricane Ian, um, and that was probably the scariest one I went through was Charlie. The thing about Charlie was not that it was it was a strong hurricane. It hit a little north of where I lived, but basically with Charlie, what happened was that it stalled out a little bit, built up, but Ian, Charlie was my first hurricane. That was the thing. Ian was my sixth. By that time, you're kind of used to what they do. And the only thing about Ian was that it stalled out over as it was going over where I lived, and it took 12 hours to go over. So that was different. And it took a long time to get power back and a lot of utilities back. So um, it just those are the things that kind of wear on you afterwards when as it takes certain things to come back. It took a long time for finally one of the things I've actually seen DeSantis do that I felt he actually jumped in and did something properly was actually get on top of the power company in the area I lived in and started saying that he was going to fine them if they did not start working on the power lines in that area. So, this time of year is difficult to live in Florida, and it is when it gets busiest too, because people come down from up north. They're starting to come down. Hey, Former, how's it going? How are things? You're the first one to really jump on here, and in the chat box, I was just waiting for people kind of babbling on. Hi, watching the Yanks and the Oakland A's. Yeah, I was watching. I just checked the score on my football game, and the Chargers lost 20-10 against the Steelers. I'm gonna check if my pods have a game going. Yeah, it's kind of been a slow day in here. You're the first one to actually jump on. Earlier, it looked like there was 2 or 3 other people on here, but one gave the thumbs up and nobody started chatting. So I was almost gonna, in the next 10 minutes or so, was gonna, if nobody jumped on, I was gonna shut down and do like film a video for the. Yep, it looks like my pods are playing the Chicago White Sox today. Hello and welcome to the stream. Feel free to jump on with Jules. Yeah, I saw the White Sox are 36 and 119. Hey Emily, how are you? Glad to have you here on the stream. Doing a little bit of a different look today, doing a little bit. Sometimes I like to jump in and, as you'll see, my outfits will be very different from one day to another. Today I decided to try out some, and I've done it before, decided to try a goth look. You like it? Yeah, I tried it before. I one time bought some black lipstick and then, try to build up on the goth look. I have this. This is a nice little leopard print, kind of very clear blouse, as you can see. So I just put a nice black bra underneath, and I have the new. I don't know if you saw my um, video haul with the real nice black skirt I bought, and it's got like buckles on the front, and it's got 2 slits out like off to the side on the front. So, and then I just decided to do kind of some um, goth looking makeup. Like I said, I have the black lipstick. I did my eyeshadow in a pretty like dark gray, and actually has some glitter in it. And then my eyeliner is kind of a gold, like copper color. I've got some colored eyeliner besides just using black. I like having fun with my look. Um, I like, you know, I can do something that's very conservative. I have this real nice dress that I can wear, but yet I like doing stuff like this. It's, you know, um, out on the, you know, out there. I like having fun with my looks. Um, One thing I haven't posted on here, and I did it on Patreon already, I still have to get some fishnets for it, is, well, I do have one costume that's, it's cosplay actually, and it was easy to put together. If you are a Green Arrow fan, I put together a real nice Black Canary costume. I have to get some fishnets, or depending where I'm going, or some black, or be black or purple leggings, depending on which uh, Black Canary you're going to do. She, you know, in a lot of places in the comic books, she does the um, the fishnets. So I've actually shown that one on my Patreon already. My patrons have seen that costume. I kind of put everything together and didn't cost me that much, so it was nice. It's good to, you know, I was at that point where I was considering, usually with the live streams, I do 2 o'clock on, and I'm on Mountain Daylight Time. And so I'll do one Saturday, one on Sunday. If I do a Friday one, it's usually around 4 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. Hello and welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. Remember, whenever you are on here, you are one of my treasures. Feel free to jump into the chat box. Got a couple of, you know, people in here. We can talk about any of the usual topics we talk here. We talk in the 5 Ts. We talk about transition. I sometimes try talk triathlon. I will usually do that triathlon talk on single videos, not unless people ask about it in here. Talk about teaching, and I've been teaching my about my deconstruction from the Mormon Church, and also I talk about trends, kind of like different styles of clothing I like to wear, and I talk about tips. And tips can mean many things. It can mean from you know, well, just, you know, makeup tips. I've done tips of on how to, you know, be prepared for times of disaster, anything like that. Um, so, you know, you can always ask questions. We can just chat in general, casually about anything. As I always say, let's be good to each other. Let's be constructive towards each other. No destructive comments. Anybody that starts putting through insults. And I know my subscribers don't do this, but if anybody jumps in that is not a subscriber, one, I will ask you to comment, like, and subscribe down below. But if you do start, giving insults, I do tend to block people like that. So. Emily, I haven't done one here in New Mexico yet. I've done some in Florida. I've done what they call a sprint triathlon. The thing is, triathlon, people have to know that you can't just jump in and do an Ironman right away. Ironman is a big thing. And then I like doing like sprint triathlons right now because they're a shorter distance and it's easier. You have to build up. So sprint triathlons you do a 1/4 mile swim, you do a 12-mile bike ride and a 5K. And then you have an Olympic triathlon, which is Olympic distance is twice the sprint. And then the half Ironman goes a 1.2 mile swim. Let's see, it's a 56-mile bike ride and a half marathon. And then a full Ironman is a 2.4 mile swim, 112-mile bike ride with a full marathon in it. So you have to slowly build up to it. I was living in Florida before, and right now, I mean, my biggest weakness in all that is the run part. And now that I have moved to altitude from being at sea level, and I've only ever lived at sea level, has been the run. I've been training on running, and you get shorter breath quicker when you run. One thing I have noticed though is I have been able to get up to a longer distance quicker than I did at sea level. I don't know if that's because I had already trained for it, but for the run, I use a program that's really cool. Like if you ever want to do a 5K, here it's on my phone. It's by a company called I think it's called Vandersoft. Yeah, it's called by Vandersoft. It is called Couch to 5K. It is an excellent program. It starts building you up slowly. So the first week, it'll have you do like a 5-minute run, walk, whatever you want to do. And then it'll say to run, it'll have you repeat this sequence for 6 times, where it'll have you run for a minute and walk for like 2 minutes. And you'll repeat that 6 times. Then I'll tell you when you're halfway through. So usually when I'm halfway through, I turn around and then I can start doing, working my way towards my house. And then at the end, it'll have you walk or run another 5 minutes. And it'll have you do that 3 times the first week. The second week, it changes the times of how long you run and how long you walk on those interval trainings. It's a great program. And when you start getting to where it says do a 15-minute run or a 20-minute run, you start running and you're going at that 15-minute one and you think you're about to die, and all of a sudden you get the second wind of energy. It is amazing. I won't forget the first time I did that program. all of a sudden it felt like this burst of energy came from my head down to my toes. I was like, oh, this is fantastic. Um, so it's a great program. Then they have one that's couched to 10K. And then, you can build up from there. I don't think they have one that's from couch to half marathon, but I think they have further programs that you can do. They're great, great programs that I suggest. It was actually suggested to me by my doctor in Florida because he was a hardcore triathlete. I mean, he had done Ironmans. He had like all these medals because at every triathlon they'll give you a medal just for participation in it. Of course, then if you're in first or second place, they will give you an invitation to Kona, which is the Hawaii Ironman, which is like the championship of Ironman. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. Feel free to jump into the chat box. Yeah, see, Emily, it shows that there's 4 of us in here, but when I look into my participants box, it only shows me and you. So there's 2 people that are keeping themselves hidden. Now, one thing I have heard that oh, that's cool, Farmer, watch your game, no problem. Yeah, I think what happens when people don't participate for a little bit, it hides them. Because, like I said, it shows that there's 4 of us in here, but if you are in here, feel free to jump into the chat box. Got a lot of good things coming up for the channel. I do ask that I know both of you are subscribed. You guys have been great. We're trying to grow the channel. So one of the things I like to do to thank all of you for being members on the channel or joining, I like to do little giveaways from time to time. So I usually put a goal for the channel, and the last one was done at 2:55. I did get an email from the person, and they said that they understood what we were trying to do. Hi, PNN. How are you? Welcome to the channel. You're on with Jules. Whenever you are on here, you're one of my treasures. Feel free to jump into the conversation. Our conversations are usually pretty casual. We can talk about what I call the 5 T's on my channel. We talk about transition, as I'm a 54-year-old transgender woman. We talk about, I like to talk about triathlon. I like to participate in them. Also talk about trends, different clothing I wear. I've been doing a teaching on my deconstruction out of the Mormon Church, kind of as I leave it. And I can always bring in other people that are in high demand religions, and also talk about tips. Tips are many different things. Could be from like makeup, where I purchased some of my clothing, and also survival, kind of preparedness tips. Yeah, like today, so whenever you come on here, I may have completely, I like to do different looks. So today I tried to do somewhat of a, goth type of look, like this nice, blouse. I do have a nice goth type skirt, my makeup. I did the black lipstick with some black eyeshadow. I like to, try out many different looks. Um, my big hoop earrings. So, one day you might find me like this. Another day, I'll be in a very conservative outfit. I just like having fun. Um, okay, ask away. Feel free to ask about anything that you feel that you need to ask. Have you subscribed to the channel? Because one thing I do on the channel is every Tuesday I do like a journal of like how my transition is going. I will call it Jewel. I just changed the name of it. It's called Jewel's Journey on Transition Tuesday, and then I number it by how many weeks I've been transitioning. Um, I just did week 28, so that was my 7th month. Coming up on 8 months soon, which will be, it's been fantastic journey. Um, I try to give tips on how to be safe with your, like your medications on transition. Also about, making sure you do see a gender therapist before, um, and and make sure that you're using your hormone replacement therapy the safest manner. Um, Me, I am a nurse. I was a nurse for 13 years in the emergency room. Currently, I work in primary care for the Department of Veterans Affairs. So actually, I do encounter a lot of trans veterans, um, and we do have a whole department that helps them out. Um, I always say if there is information I can't give right off the top of my head, I can go to the computer at work and get information for you. Uh, so I am really here to do as much to help people in the same community or same family. I call it a community. I call it a family. The LGBTQIA family. I am here to help as many people as I can. Yeah, and feel free to subscribe to the channel. Also, you know, just if you want to check it out. Also, one of the things I always tell people, and it's only like an optional thing, when one of the things I do, I also have a Patreon. On Patreon, I do try to, maybe like when I put on this outfit this morning, I did a video for them first, and just kind of showed them like a preview before they might come on here. And now on there, it is kind of a, it's a subscription for them, but 20% of the money that goes into any that I make from any of my channels goes to the Transgender Resource Center of New Mexico, and the other money goes to just upgrading equipment for the channel. Right now, we're a pretty young channel, so like I have a webcam up here on my monitor, and for some reason that'll crash sometimes, and um, I have to work off my laptop, which I'm doing now. Usually, my videos, not my live streams, are filmed off my phone. Um, and then sometimes I will, I've done videos on the outside while I'm driving. Also, I did one like a week or two ago while I was hiking in the mountains right behind my house here in Albuquerque. It was great, um, a great time. And I always welcome for any, likes and comments for the video down below, or it's just any tips that you may have too. If you're pretty new to transition, um, there's many things I always suggest to people. One of the big things I've heard a lot through YouTube. As first I started going on YouTube and looking at things, and then I decided, hey, maybe I can start my own channel. One, I'll use it as a journal for myself. Um, and two, I started looking at what I do for a career as a nurse. And one thing I know is a lot of people I've heard do tend to borrow or will get hormones. One, like people either, if you live near the border, some people try to get it from Mexico. Two, other people get them from other people's prescriptions. One of my biggest things is to warn against that. Yes, when I was a kid, I grew up in California. I grew up in San Diego. A lot of times my mom would have like antibiotics from Mexico, stuff like that, because at the pharmacy there, you can just buy stuff over the counter. It's pretty easy. But when it comes to hormones, you have to be very, very careful. Um, and testosterone block. I don't know if you're transitioning male to female or female to male. Um, if you need like testosterone blockers, those are important to watch and monitor certain blood levels because they can cause blood clots. And I wouldn't want that for any of my treasures. I'm, very, very, you know, big on educating everybody here about that. It is one of those things that I wouldn't want anybody hurt. Um, so yeah, I love educating when it comes in nursing. A big part of our what we do is education. So I always say you have please is the best thing to do is be under the care of a doctor or some kind of nurse practitioner that can monitor your blood levels to make sure you're not getting too much or too little, or and can adjust things for you. um, and good, that's a good thing. Yeah, here in the US, well, first of all, certain states uh, are starting to ban it. Like I used to live in Florida. So Florida is a very conservative state, big, Republican state. And I had started my HRT, and then I don't know if you've ever heard of Ron DeSantis. He's the governor, and he decided to pretty much ban it for minors, but he put in some loopholes in there that affected adults also. And I got a call from my doctor or my nurse practitioner and said, well, we may have to cancel your appointment next week. What's going to happen is they may put in new laws, and Yeah, there's certain parts of Florida that can be pretty liberal, like Lauderdale also, uh, and Orlando is. Um, but what happened with me, Emily, was when DeSantis put that through, I was going through Planned Parenthood, and they told me that they couldn't do it anymore. That they were making it that you couldn't do telehealth visits anymore, and two, you had to actually see a doctor. You couldn't see a nurse practitioner. Um, and then when I moved out here to New Mexico, like even months before I moved to New Mexico, I was already it was pretty simple to make an appointment. I called University of New Mexico or hospital clinic, and then they said, "Well, our clinic is full, but here's the name of another one." Um, oh wow! Thanks for telling me. Former Padres, White Sox 1-1. So yeah, it was very simple to go to a clinic here. One is I have very good insurance. I work for the feds, so great, fabulous insurance. Yes, it is. It's horrible how they're treating us. Emily, I was glad to, even before I hadn't even thought about it when I was moving to New Mexico, getting ready to move to New Mexico, and never looked up what their laws were about it. So then maybe like a month before I was going to move, figured out, um, you know, what to, to look up basically, like you're saying, you're voting Democrats uh, in Florida. I decided to look up what the legislature was like here in New Mexico. The entire legislature are Democrats. It's a very left-wing state. You have a Democratic governor. The state legislature, both the House and the Senate, are Democratic, and they're very accepting to the LGBTQIA um, community. It's you can walk by certain clinics and you'll see there that there is put on the sign that they have hormone replacement therapy. The clinic I was referred to by UNM, that's the University of New Mexico hospital that they told me to go to, is a very, very nice clinic. It is, and they're very supportive. When you walk in, they have, like LGBTQ flags everywhere. They have their own pharmacy. So I go in, I see my nurse practitioner, and then she prescribes it, and I just walk over to their pharmacy in the building and get my HRT. They have a lab there, and they are a type of clinic also that they will take people without insurance, and they'll look at what their salary is, and then from there, do like a sliding scale and say, oh, this is how much you have to pay us if you make X amount of money. So they work with people that don't have insurance, and I think that's great. I wouldn't mind working there part time or something, because I do have like Fridays off. I think it would be fantastic, be a phenomenal thing to do, because then I would be helping people, you know, um, like myself. I'm also waiting for any type of position at the VA to open up where I could help trans vets, because that would be in what they call whole health. Yeah, and the same way I'm going to be in the election. I just registered as an independent, so I can vote either way when it comes to any election. But yeah, I'm going to be voting Democrat, actually, for the first time in my life. Um, I'll be voting to the left. Um, but it all has to do because of how they are treating the entire LGBTQIA community. I definitely think that, well, I know Kamala is very, very friendly to the trans community. I know she had a big uh, get together with some of the big trans activists on YouTube one time, or LGBTQIA. Um, a couple of years ago, I know Samantha Lux did show her time there at the White House when they met with Kamala. Well, former, I don't know, what I have to look at is one, I have to look at, I look at what helps me out. I'm looking at a lot of this, a lot of the current things coming out, like this Project 2025. I voted for Trump in the last two elections. I have to really kind of look out for myself, and that's why I chose to register independent, because I'm um, very in the middle. Like me, I would say I'm pro choice because I do have a daughter, and if anybody were to do anything to her, sorry, I think she should have a choice um, in doing what she would want to with, you know, if she got pregnant and she didn't want the baby. But yet, I'm very Second Amendment, proponent. So, I mean, I'm very balanced nowadays in the way I look at things. Uh, Another thing was I used to be very, and I'll say I was like you guys know, one of the segments I've been doing is me leaving the Mormon Church, and at one time I was really into it. Hey, Drace, um, how are you? Yeah, it is, and as you're saying, it's difficult to only have two parties, um, and they're very both, on the extremes. Yeah, it seems to be like in every country, the things are are very, very um, extreme, and you got the two-party systems. For example, even when you look down to Mexico, um, before Mexico, so say for example, if they voted someone in, most of the time it was the PRI party, which is their, I believe that's their Republican side. There, and usually once, and then they can only, the person that's president can only be in for one term because they have a 6-year term. They feel like they can't do much in 4 years. 4 years is not enough to do much. And then what happens? But usually the the elections used to be rigged a lot. So they used to like, once the president was voted in, it seems like the next one, they already knew who the next one was going to be. Um, and nowadays they've actually been pretty balanced in the way they've gone as far as the PRI or the PAN winning. Um, and just recently, Mexico voted in their first female president. So, that's a big deal because, that's a very, if you want a very misogynistic society, Mexico really still is. Well, we have a good group of people in here today, just like yesterday. The channel's starting to grow. These chats are starting to grow. Everybody feel free to jump in. Just we can talk about, you know, uh, just about any topic. Usually we try to focus on the 5 Ts: transition, triathlon. Um, I do some teaching. Like I said, I've been teaching my Mormon deconstruction and the basics of that church, and also trends like the clothing I like to do, or the styles I like to do. Today I've done like basically a goth style, um, and also tips. It can be from makeup tips to like my backpacking tips, um, and you know a little bit of preparedness tips for any time of disaster, wherever you are. I love doing teaching and doing my tips section. I decided to have some fun with the makeup today. Last couple of times I've really tried this goth look. I've really really liked it. Um, Call the name of the president who brought in actual social democracy style. Are you talking about Reagan? Because he had his system called Reaganomics. He was probably one of the best presidents to help the economy. Um, and that's a good question. Now you got me wondering. That's a pretty good one, Trace. I even jumped into Google to try to find it. One of the first things that jumped in was Reagan, or was it Jimmy Carter before him? Because Reagan was in around the same time as Thatcher, and it seems Thatcher uh, was also the same way. That's what I'm finding. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. Remember, whenever you're on here and you are one of my treasures, feel free to jump into the live stream. Um, we've got a pretty good amount of people in here. Actually, we ended up with one new sub because of how good the live is going today. To me, one sub is better than no subs. So thank you. I believe that was PNN. Um, Hi, Serena. How are you? That's good that you're sitting. We're just sitting here having a good conversation like yesterday's live. We got several people. Um, just kind of like yesterday, just having casual conversation. I always talk about all the different, talk about different topics that we talk on the channel. Like today's look that I tried doing. I was doing a little bit of goth look. I like, doing this every once in a while. One day I decided to try some, I bought some clothing that had like a goth look to it. I got some black lipstick, and tried some dark eyeshadow. And sure enough, I loved how it looked. And so I said, from time to time, every couple of weeks, I have to do it because I love playing with my makeup and trying different looks. Um, so I've done the black lipstick, like I showed you, the dark eyeshadow. I do have, I do have like a gold one underneath. Oh, I have a pair. I should go get them to show you. I have, you said yours are, oh yeah, mine are knee high. They are lace up in the front, but they actually zip down the sides. I actually have have them, and I have a red faux leather dress that goes with them. One thing I found when for shoes, always try either 1.5 or 2 sizes over your men's size. So like as far as male shoes, I wear a 10.5. So I buy um, a 12 in women's. Yeah, mine are like red go-go boots. They're like, the full leather. They're nice and shiny. Um, I think I've done some videos in them. Maybe I should try them again. The thing that gets difficult with mine is like I have the laces all done up real nice, and then all of a sudden they'll all fall out of shape because it starts off at the bottom. They're through the little holes, and then you have to loop them through little hooks out towards the top, and then they come off the little hooks. But I love them. I'd wear them out. Um, I have a couple of dresses with red that would look fantastic. I have, like I said, my full leather dress. I would wear that to some kind of, party. Now, if you are an HRT, your feet aren't going to shrink. That's that. It so I've got like a lot of my shoes right here. One of the biggest things I love that I first got and it made it easier to walk and learn how to walk was to make sure I had a white heel, you know. Um, and I got these little ankle boots. I love my little ankle boots. I'll wear these just about anywhere with about any outfit. Just need to make sure they match. But um, I love these. They're great. These are a size 12. I bought them. I actually bought these at Walmart. Uh, they weren't expensive, but I do need a black pair because black just goes with about everything. The only boots I have in black are my old. I've got 3 pairs of these actually, and these are my EMS boots from when I was a paramedic. Um, but I actually love these boots. They're comfortable. Um, and But I do have, like you said, knee-high go-go style boots. Really, I haven't had any. Of course, I've only been on HRT for what I'm going on 8 months soon. So, I have, I do have some trans friends that have been. I have one that's been trans for about 8 years. She's been on hormones for that long, and definitely says there's no foot shrinkage. Some of the other things that that they um, she says there's a lot of myths to a lot of things. um, Thank you for another sub, whoever that was. We just hit 324. Our next goal, remember, is 510. Um, so let's hope it keeps going up. We've already got hit 2 new subs. That is fantastic. I always like to have new subscribers. what I am going to do that's going to be fantastic, November 1st through 11th, I'm going to have all those days off. So after I leave work on Halloween evening, I'm probably going to get one. If not, I'll get them done right on November 1st. I'm going to go get my nails done. And what I'm going to do is try to do a video each and every day of those 11 days. One of my first things will be hopefully by that time I'll have a new vehicle. Actually, I'm buying an older vehicle. I want to do what they call a resto mod. I'm trying to buy an older truck. I've found the one I want. And when I do the video to show it the first time, you guys are going to be surprised at what I end up buying. But it's going to be like a canvas. So basically, it's going to be a vehicle to restore it, but modify it at the same time. I love working on cars. And this one's actually going to be like the first vehicle I ever had. So it'll be fun. It'll be another playlist for the channel. I think we can have lots of fun with it, and see what you guys think. I know it's gonna kind of be something way different than what I do on here, but like I said, it'll be fun. And yeah, Serena, I can see how that would be hard to go up from a men's 12, because yeah, that would be a very, I think, first of all, I think that would be hard to find. I have a hard time finding a women's 12 online sometimes. At Walmart, I was looking for those ankle boots, but on Amazon, I found my go-go style boots. But they're fun to wear. I love them. I love that in the last couple of days we're having, great participation in here. We need to keep this going. Please, everyone, like, subscribe, comment, share my channel with your friends that are LGBTQIA, so we can really continue to grow the channel. One of my next things, and I need to jump on a merch site to start creating merch. I do want to do t-shirts first. I already have my idea for the t-shirts, and and as always stated, any money that's made from either merch or from my Patreon or anything, anything of that, 20% does go to the Transgender Resource Center of New Mexico. I've tried to go a couple of times. When I have gone, I mainly see, like I think once they were open, but there was a lot of people, waiting. And I know one of the biggest things, they provide food, like they have a food pantry for people that are homeless, and every time I go, there's a ton of people just waiting to get in for that. So I haven't really been able to visit the resource center for that, but I want to help, them go get more money because I believe they want to get a new facility, better headquarters, and with whatever, we can do through the channel or through Patreon, I think that would be fantastic. Just for it to grow, and then to have a better building, um, a better location, I think that would be awesome. So 20% of any, thing that is made on through either channel goes to them. The other will go to getting new equipment. I need like a better microphone, um, lighting. I have pretty good lighting, but I want like either their monitor, um, or and then get a new Chromebox so we can get better reception and create a better experience for all of you. And then eventually, as the channel grows, and what we'll do is maybe start giving more to the resource center. Um, and then same thing with money from when merch comes along. It'll go the same way. 20% will go to the resource center. I just want to help others out. That's what my channel's about. And really, help them. It seems like there's a lot of people out there in this area that need help. They're here in Albuquerque, and I guess because I hadn't noticed it in the city I was living in Florida, there was not many homeless, but here there are a lot. And so I do, if they are helping these homeless, whether they're trans or not, I think it's great that we can help them. Feel free, we can talk about, like I said, any of the 5 T's, or any other topic. You guys can jump in, you know, trends and tips, or, anything about your transition. If you have any questions or any tips for me, anything you like, to wear, please feel free to jump in on that. Like me today, I decided to do a whole different look. I like to have fun with how I dress. I did like an alternate goth look today. Hey Daniel, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Good to have you in here. I know you were in here yesterday. Welcome on this Sunday. We've been having great attendance today. We've had Serena, we've had Grace, we've had PNN. We've had 2 new subs jump, and subscribe into the channel. It's been fantastic. So what are you up to today? Feel free to jump in and talk. As usual, we're doing our, talk 5 T's. Okay, so is this how many COVID vaccines have you received, Serena? Actually, this is good because when the COVID vaccine came out at the VA, we were the first or first clinic to receive it in Florida. We were actually being filmed to give it um, in while we were giving the first test run to employees, and I gave the second one, and my parents actually saw the filming of that news out in San Diego, which is 3,000 miles away. So actually, I was pretty good. Is this your? Yeah, that's it. Okay, yeah. I mean, really, it depends. If you haven't had a bad side effect from them, I would say go ahead and get it. Um, they just came out with a what I think this will be. They just came out with a new one, and we just got it at the VA that I work at, and I think that'll be number 7 or 8 for some people, and it's really, really how you feel about it. Okay, so yeah, like any vaccine though, if you go get it, like me, I got my shingles vaccine in the last couple of years, and the second one gave me a fever. But that's normal for vaccines to do that because they are putting in vaccines, you're getting a light form of the actual disease or whatever in you, and therefore your body's going to react and protect itself. Daniel, yeah, I have several. I mainly have that pair of, like you said, you saw the ankle boots. I love my ankle boots. These are fantastic. I need to get a couple other pairs in different colors. I also have. You probably saw. I don't know if you saw my EMS boots, which are my from when I was a medic, a road medic. They're like combat style boots. I have those. I also have some. We were also talking because it was Serena. Was it you that mentioned the red go style boots? I have some knee high go style boots. Yeah, so Serena, what I would say if you start feeling kind of crummy, if you get a fever or any body aches or anything like that, just take some Tylenol. Um, and actually, um, I've learned a lot about this. You can take you can do Tylenol every 4 hours, Motrin every 6, so you can alternate, and that'll help out. I've actually had it twice, and the second time, oh my goodness, it was horrible. I thought I just had my um, uh, I just thought I had like some kind of because I was just losing my voice on the second time around. But then I went back to work because I felt it on a Friday. I went back to work Monday, and then they said, no, you should go get tested, and I was positive. Then I had to have 2 negative tests after that. No, that's not rude. Many of us are into, you know, different things. You know, you might like pictures of feet. I had a girlfriend, and one thing, and that's where I learned to love nails. Nails are big for me. I used to, because she used to get her nails done weekly, and she always had real nice acrylic nails done, and they looked fantastic. So, I mean, all of us have our thing. Oh no, no, this is not for fetishes. Uh, no, Serena, we won't get into too much of that. Um, I've actually had people where they've asked me to, you know, to, I think they wanted me to like show certain things. And I was like, no, this channel's not about that. So, because I had one day where a bunch of people that weren't talking about what this channel is about uh, jumped into here. They looked like they were a bunch of gamers, but then they started asking lots of horrible questions. So I had to put a stop to it. Eventually, if we start getting large audiences, I think I may have to get a moderator so they can moderate what the, you know, what the talk is about here, because I don't want it, you know, to insult or bother any of my treasures, my subscribers, as all of you are. And I want everybody to be respected in here. But yeah, I would, I would say, yeah, just sleep the day after that COVID vaccine. Like I said, if you do get a fever or anything, Tylenol or Motrin. Like I said, Tylenol can be every 4, uh, Motrin can be every 6. You can actually, there's actually, you can do 2 Tylenol, 2 Motrin at one time. That would be the 500 milligram Tylenol and 200 milligram Motrins. So that would be a total of a whole gram of Tylenol, meaning and then 400 milligrams of Motrin. And that'll give you the best coverage for one, Tylenol is a pain reliever, but it's also an antipyretic, which is anti-fever, and Motrin is an anti-inflammatory. So, and also an antipyretic. They both work for fevers. I'm gonna probably in the next few weeks or month or so probably be ordering new glasses. Like both of the ones I've worn on my videos, whether these or my clear ones, have been both from when I was still presenting male. Like these still like I think work well with the female outfits, but what I'm gonna order now are some cat eye style frames, and I'm gonna order them in black. I think black's a very neutral color, can go with just about anything. I do have a pair of black frames from before, but they're just like round. Um, so, um, and then I will probably be ordering some, eventually another pair. Actually, they have a real nice, some real nice frames for this. I ordered them online, and they have, it's called Zenny Optical. They have actually a Pride collection, and some of their frames look fantastic. So I will probably be ordering one of their Pride frames. Maybe I'll do a video and ask for opinions. I might get 2-3 pairs. Sometimes they'll do where specials where if you buy two, that you get the third pair free. I'll have to be watching for their current sales. I just feel it's time for a new pair. I need some feminizing ones. So, that's a big thing with fashion, and your what you need to do. It's another accessory that you have. You have your earrings, you have your makeup, you also have, eyeglasses is another accessory. So I'll probably be looking at, which ones I like best, and possibly post them here and like, and then put a sample picture on there, because you can actually do like a 3D image of yourself with them on through their website, and I'll take pictures of it and maybe post a poll. I think that'll be a cool way to do it. So I'll do that in the next week or so, and we can have fun with that. I'm going to keep this going for the next 20 minutes. Anybody feel free to jump in. In the next 20 minutes, we can continue to, it's been a great stream. I've enjoyed having everybody on here. If anybody's new here that hasn't hit the like button or put in a comment or subscribed, feel free to, subscribe down below. We have had 2 new subscribers in this as of this stream, which is fantastic. We're now up to 324. As I have stated at when we hit 510, I will be doing my next little giveaway. I do things in the increments of um, let me go this way, in increments of as you can see right here, in increments of 51. 51's always been a very lucky number to me. That's another reason why we call this area 521. It's been a big influential number in my lifetime. Um, uh, I came out at age 51. Um, as a kid, I watched Squad 51. I ended up becoming a paramedic because of that. Um, I used to work at a facility where we did pharmaceutical research, and when they were giving me a new office and they were putting the wiring in for the computers, it had a big 51 on the door, so it got nicknamed Area 51, hence my sign. um, and so it's always been an influential number. So then I started thinking of different things I did in my life with, and a lot of things about, I started thinking about my transition, and I like to do triathlon. Then the five T's came to me, and that's how I came up with the five T's for my channel, and that's why I call it Area 5T1. I think it's to have something different, and throughout my channel, what I call my viewers has changed. At first it was Jules, and then it became Jules Treasures, and that's where I've kept it at. So because I do feel all of you are treasures on my channel, and you know. Okay, so Area 51, I don't know if I could look that up online, is outside Las Vegas, and I think I'm about 5 hours away from Las Vegas, so I think I might be 3 hours away from it. Actually, what's kind of a pretty cool thing to say here, Emily, is I went to California back in June, and the airline that I caught, their layover was in Las Vegas, and then I flew from Vegas to San Diego. When my flight landed in Las Vegas, I saw the airlines that the people take from the Las Vegas airport to Area 51. They are small planes. I believe they are burgundy, and they have no markings on it. Some of them are burgundy, and they do have a name to it. They are called Janet Airlines, and they do have they're white with burgundy lines, just like Janet, Janet. And they will basically be white with burgundy planes, and they will have no numbers on the tail. They're basically blank. They will have no name written on the side. They're just white with a burgundy stripe. And I saw those sitting there. I just kind of woke up, looked over to the side, and then they were there. It was actually pretty cool. And now I think Roswell, New Mexico, is about um, a couple of hours away. I've actually been there once, but I went there in the middle. We got my friend and I on the trip where I came to New Mexico for the first time. We uh, let's see. I'll check how far I am from Roswell. Um, let's see. I'm gonna go to my GPS here, and let's just say um, Roswell, Mexico. Actually, I'm 2 hours away from Roswell. Um, 2 hours and 46 from Roswell. We can call it Groom Lake, is what they call the area in Nevada where Area 51 is. And guess what? There's no, there's nothing on the map. It will not tell me how far away I am from there. So, yeah, even my GPS won't tell me how far away I am from Groom Lake, Nevada. Uh, okay, so I just found out for you, I am 530 miles from Area 51. So if you travel at 80, say travel, the speed limit would probably be 75 miles per hour. Um, uh, um, very, very well said, Serena. Yeah, so if you figure, um, oh, I like that one. I love the 5T HRTY. Um, so if we figure if you're traveling 80, 80 miles per hour, and so 80, that would probably be actually go into 530. That would be about 6 hours away. So I guess my first guess was wrong. Um, so yeah, it's about 6 hours away. Um, between 5.5 to 6 hours away. Um, and Roswell is 2 hours from here. Maybe I'll do it. I think that'll be a cool video to do. I will do a trip out to Roswell. Maybe we can go through I'll do a little, filming through all the little alien museums, even visit. I know there's a place where you can visit the crash site. They say where it's at. And I think that would be a cool trip to do out there. Get some alien souvenirs. Um, I'm big into that world of the unknown. I really think there's something else besides us out there. Um, I know that I've been, when I first came out to New Mexico, I came out for a training class. It was a small town called Socorro. It was about, you know, it was south of here. And then my friend and I drove to the Very Large Array. If you guys don't know what the Large Array is, just look it up. It's a Very Large Array. It's a big radio telescope. It has a bunch of radar dishes. It does come out in the movie Contact with Jodie Foster. Um, just that they're not arranged as nicely as they are in the movie. They can move them on railroad tracks and to make different arrangements to get better reception. Or for whatever they're looking for in whatever direction. And then we went out 2 hours to the Large Array, and it wasn't what we expected. So then we drove back 2 hours and drove 2 hours to Roswell. We showed up at Roswell very late at night. We wanted to buy alien souvenirs. And I remember the only place we could buy them was at Kmart. They had like this little gift shop off to the side, and we bought some stuff there. And but it was a good time. There's all kinds of little alien museums that they have, obviously. It helps probably the city be able to grow using the alien, theme to really use it as, a moneymaker. Probably helps them really profit and bring people in. So, I mean, and there's always a way, especially when it's a small town like that. And in Socorro, the town where I had stopped to do the training that I was doing, that whole town is basically about the college that we went to for a week. And basically, it used to be a mining college. Now, Department of Homeland Security owns part of it, and that's the part I went to. And then, but they told us if we were really searching for aliens or talk to people that had seen them, to actually go talk to the sheriff of the town, because apparently he had had an encounter with them, and there are like monuments to certain ones people have seen in Socorro. I do still have my Socorro t-shirt. Maybe I'll wear that on one of my next videos. But basically, wow, we've come up on the 2-hour mark here. We're at 1:53. Feel free to jump in for any last things here. I think what we're going to do is start closing up. I've loved having everybody here. The last 2 days, it's been fantastic. I do want to say thank you to all of you. We're definitely seeing growth on the channel. I'm gonna do maybe another video after this. I will post it, and just continue to follow the channel. Always like, comment, and everything down below. If you want to jump on Patreon, that would be fantastic. Like I said, 20% goes to the Transgender Resource Center of New Mexico. I'll always be completely transparent, show receipts on the Patreon site, and the donations. Also, I do want to say that, like I said, I had a great time here. You guys are my treasures. My name is Jules, and as always, we talk about the 5 T's. We have a great time in these streams. Please, as always, as I always end it, please remember 988. It is the crisis line. This is a nationwide initiative that can help anyone if you feel like you're in a crisis, if you're feeling down, depressed, hopeless. if you're sad, confused, or angry, worried about your safety or the safety of someone else, if you're a service member or a veteran, dial 988 and and dial um, dial one. PNN, what I'll start doing is posting all the time zones. When my time zone is 1 hour ahead of California, 2 hours behind the East Coast, and 1 hour behind Central Time. Also, if you're worried about any drug or alcohol abuse, or um, having someone, just wanting someone to talk to, this is a great resource. Then also, always remember, please get your HRT from a provider. Do not just get it from, if friends have some and they want to offer you theirs, don't get it from them. Please do seek the help of a medical professional. Also, please, I would suggest to get some, gender therapy before going. A lot of insurance companies will require that. I care about all of you, and I wouldn't want to see any of my treasures injured or hurt because they took medication someone else gave them, and it may not be what they expected. So please have a great day. I love all of you. Remember, I'm Jules. You are my treasures, and have a good night.